Hello and welcome to Teddy's 7th video. Now, at the making of this recording, it is currently 2022, so if I didn't wish you a happy new year, I wish you a great new year and hopefully, you can pursue your endeavors, whoever's watching. And even though it is 2022, 2021 wasn't so bad. League of Legends, the anime came out. Actually, Arcane is the name of it, and it is on Netflix. And it is actually really good. So I'm going to be talking about my experience watching it and give some criticism and talk about the storyline. So there's going to be a warning of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend checking it out on Netflix. And yeah, let's begin. So even though this anime is based off of League of Legends, don't worry, you do not need to play the game in order to get into it. It is kind of like an origin story, or yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's kind of like an origin story. And the first characters we're introduced to are Vi and Jinx. We also later on see characters such as Jarvis, Victor, and Heimerdinger. How can I forget about Echo? Echo is in this, of course. The ADC goddess herself, Caitlyn. If I missed any characters, I do apologize. I'm kind of going off of my memory. I had to really sit down and kind of just, take a breath and understand what I just watched. But with that said, we are introduced to Vi and Caitlyn as orphans. They're pretty much like little rebels, just causing mayhem all over town. And our story kind of starts off where they kind of robbed the wrong place. And that's how we also get introductions to characters such as Jarvis and Heimerdinger. Overall, they're trying to steal and then feed themselves, sell the stuff off, because they do live in like the underground part of the kingdom, which is a really rundown place, and it's kind of like the hood, it's where crime's going on, illegal activities is going on. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch them like grow up in that environment and then kind of understand, if you played the game, you kind of understand why they are the character they are in the future. And it's also kind of interesting, and it's really well storytelling. The way they were also able to incorporate Jarvan and Caitlyn into this, and then how they also added Echo and Heimerdinger. So it's really nice that the storytelling is really good. The animation is really good as well. I did enjoy the animation for it. Riot does have a habit of making good cinematics for their characters. So I was really impressed on how consistent they were throughout the whole series. Without trying to speedrun the gist of the story, we start off with Jinx, and she's pretty much part of this team, but she messes up a lot, in which gets the team to go up against the team leader, which is Vi. And they are raised as sisters. They grew up as sisters, and watching them develop this companionship just to, at the end, like have it diminish to the point where they become rivals in the later episodes, in which they are both on a very lucrative war with the underground, because Vi, as the current leader, is deemed weak by some of the people that followed him, but that's their father. That's the father figure that raised Vi, Jinx, and the other characters. So there is another person in this underground part of the kingdom that wants war with the royals in the capital, but which is where we meet characters such as Jarvis, Victor, Caitlyn, and Heimerdinger. So pretty much how it worked out, Heimerdinger is one of the professors, and Jarvis and Victor are students along with Caitlyn, and they all come from nobility, so they're in this very prestige academy, and Jarvis really wants to harness magic and control it. And Heimerdinger is like, no. And Victor is very supportive, and they pretty much end up becoming associates, in which they help each other on their pursuit to unlocking this, forbidden practice that is deemed by Heimerdinger. And you see Jarvis kind of go through the ranks and become the face of the kingdom because of his accomplishment and how he was able to crack, the answer alongside Victor. And then Caitlyn is kind of just there in the beginning because Jarvis was threatened to pretty much be expelled. And Caitlyn is kind of like the support for Jarvis. She further develops into the story. She has this notion for justice and trying to make it where both sides of the kingdom aren't against each other and they're happily living together. But because of the circumstances of how bad the poverty is in the underground part of the capital, there is this ongoing resentment that gets built from, from the very beginning. And then on top of that, because they kind of made a big explosion, and I'm talking about Vice Team in the capital, then the capital became more Iron Fist, which made the underground resent. And this is where one of the antagonists kind of popped up and started to really push the limit of violence and all this, which is what made the whole thing kind of between V and Jinx not want to see each other or not to be sisters anymore. And then you see the process in which Jinx starts to turn and become like evil. So it was really well done, and I enjoyed every part of it. I don't want to say more than what I said, but that's pretty much, kind of like the main backbone, I would like to say. And yeah, you should definitely give it a watch and experience it because it's really good. I'm actually very hyped for season 2, so hopefully that gets released soon. And yeah, that's pretty much my video for today. I just wanted to talk about that anime I saw, Well, take care, guys.
Art is an explosion! Yep, that's art.